We're live with episode 3 of Scrubs Talk Hoops, and I got my boy Luke and my boy Nathan here. And as we know, for all first-time guests, we're gonna go through each person's list and get to know them a little bit about how they view the game of basketball a little bit. So I'll recap mine like always, and I'll recap this real quick. So we're going. My list right here, I'm pulling it up right now. So my favorite all time, still GP. Favorite current player, Jimmy Buckets. NBA comp, Livingston / Russell Westbrook. And then favorite team, Dub Nash. And then all-time starting five to win a game. I don't know if I explained that to you guys. It could be either or, but for mine, it's to win a game. And I put LeBron, KD, Clay, Shaq, and MJ. And MJ is the GOAT for me. So we'll get into it first. We'll go with Luke first, and then he'll explain a little bit of his list. We'll cue this in the background.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, favorite player of all time, Kobe. Self-explanatory as a Lakers fan. Favorite current player, Giannis. Should I explain that, like, each one, or?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Okay,
Whatever
okay.
you want. Just speak your mind.
I don't know. I just like the way that he always like approached the game and everything. Like, it really reminded me of what's it called? Mamba mentality. Like, if I had to like pick out a list of like X number of players that embrace Kobe's Mamba mentality, he's definitely up there. And I mean, I do agree with some people that he is kind of overrated, but I still appreciate him a lot as a player. So
For sure.
and I think it would be pretty cool if he did, like, come join us. But that's a discussion for another day. NBA comparison, Gary Harris, just because we're both like 3-and-D type of players. Not like incredibly athletic, but we're both like put a lot of effort on defense, and we shoot the three as like our main source of scoring whenever we do score,
sure.
and don't do a ton of like anything else besides that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop you real quick. So
Yeah.
Luke is Gary Harris, but not Gary Harris on a good day. He's Gary Harris on a bad day, which is most of the time. So that's your comp.
Yeah, I guess.
Continue. I just want to get my roast in real quick.
Favorite team, the Lakers. I don't really know how to explain that aside from the fact that just was born in LA, and then I was introduced to basketball through watching a Lakers game. So a combination of those two things, I guess. All-time starting five. Magic, just because I think he's the greatest point guard of all time, with Steph being like a pretty close second. But being a Lakers fan, I'm inherently biased. I'll just put that out right now. Kobe, I would say that MJ's still better, but for the same reason I put Magic, I put Kobe there, although MJ would still work, obviously. LeBron, second greatest player of all time, arguably the GOAT. I mean, that's like another point of controversy that a lot of people
Wait. So who's your
argue
GOAT?
over.
Sorry. Did you say who's your GOAT?
Oh, my GOAT is MJ.
But he's
Like,
not on your team.
He's
Which
not.
is fine.
Just 'cause-
I'm cool with
Just
that.
because, like,
Yeah.
when I decided who to put on my team, I kind of went somewhat with what my heart wanted.
Okay.
Although rationality would dictate that I should have MJ instead of Kobe, but it's fine. I mean, MJ came from a time where they didn't shoot a lot of threes, and he wasn't as good at it compared to Kobe, in my opinion.
Was he not? I'm pretty sure his percentages are
he
better
was-
now.
I think his career was like 31, and then Kobe's like 33 or 34.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And much less volume too for.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, and then KD is like his ability, because he can shoot from anywhere pretty much, and that's why he's my other forward. Because a lot of the when you think like super good power forwards, aside from Dirk, none of them were like incredibly good shooters. I think like KG could have developed a good three if he tried to, but
Yeah,
he
but the
lived in a
game
time
wasn't
when
there
he
yet.
didn't need to.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, yeah,
I
if he
think
was
Dirk-
in this era, KG definitely would have got a 3 ball.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But
100%.
like, KD's three is incredible. Like, just shooting in general is incredible, and I think that his defense is kind of underrated. Like,
For sure, for sure.
a lot of people don't talk about how good of a defender he is, but I think he's actually quite good. But like everyone, like no one ever says anything about it. And then Shaq, in terms of career, might not be the best center of all time, like, but he was, I think, certainly the most dominant center of all time.
So who do
In fact,
you put as best center? If you're saying
I think you could make an argument for Kareem.
no, so no, I'm not saying argument. Like, what do you think? Who's the best center ever? If you're saying Shaq's not the best,
Probably Kareem, but
Okay.
I'd take Shaq just because his dominance in the paint was like incredible, and it complements the styles of KD and everybody else on the team with the shooting.
okay.
Magic
sure.
maybe not as much, but Shaq I think was the most dominant, even though I think Kareem had the better career probably.
Agreed. All right.
So yeah, that's
So
pretty
and you
much
said MJ GOAT. So
Yes.
Luke definitely capped it up. So we'll move on to Nathan's list. Let's hear what he's got to say. And no surprise, favorite player here is another Kobe.
So
Bryant.
much emotion.
Yeah, I have to say Kobe just because I don't know. He means like so much, like even like outside of basketball. I remember this one story I was reading a couple years ago where like after he retired, it was a story where Kobe was saying like, oh, like every day like I'll wake up like at 5 instead of like 8 or whatever, get an extra workout in the morning, and then like instead of 3 workouts a day, I'll get in like 4, and then over the course of like 3 years or whatever, I have an extra 4th year of experience under my belt. And like I just really remember that story, like when thinking about like hard work and like all of that. But in terms of like, and of course Kobe's there with the Lakers like ever since I was like as long as I can remember, which is like around 3 or 4 for me. I really like Chris Paul too growing up, just because small guys. I was really small growing up too. My growth spurt was like super late. I couldn't make the basketball team in high school, and I liked him until the stupid vetoed trade. I remember doing like my school projects around Chris Paul. But my favorite current player is Dame for sure. That guy is just a dog, and man, he can shoot and he can rap and crazy. My
We're talking
comp,
about hoops here.
yeah, but
Wait. Real quick, would you say you pattern your game more after Kobe's game or CP's game?
definitely CP. I can't finish the way Kobe can. So the way Chris Paul like runs around, the way Chris Paul runs a pick and roll is definitely something that you have to follow the little guys.
For
So
sure.
like growing up a lot of CP, now like when I watch Dame, I definitely can be a chucker like him sometimes, but if I go cold, then I'm just like
sure.
Quinn Cook, which is just like useless on offense aside from like breaking and occasionally hitting. Dame's definitely a better finisher, but my finishing is getting better too.
Yeah.
So but I don't think it would be fair at all to compare myself to anyone over like 6'3".
Yeah, I just remember this. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but like growing up when I was like trying to learn how to play basketball, I grew up in LA too. Kobe's on Cal 9. We all watch the games. When I was learning to shoot with like one hand rather than two, I thought I just saw Kobe shoot fadeaways. Like we all saw him shoot fadeaways. So I thought I was supposed to line myself up like sideways to the basket. So like I never squared my shot, and like to this day my shot's broke, and I shoot like side feet, like Nick Young, like sideways. And it was just
I mean, you can still make it work like that.
you can,
Yeah,
but
not
it
like-
definitely like squaring on your shoulders is
Impossible.
better, probably technically speaking, and like it's hard for me
It
to
makes
like
this-
fully square.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier when you're like if you watch like Reddick or Corver coming off screens, if you have to shoot like off of your side, then you're not gonna be able to come off the screen and knock down the way like
But
Redick or Korver can.
I like straight up put my legs like comfortably like 45 degrees probably when I'm shooting, which is just like pretty whack. But anyways, continue. Sorry for interrupting you. I just totally remember that when we're talking about patterning our games. Anyways, so you left off Dame, and then you did LA.
Yeah, favorite team, the Lakers for sure. I don't know, as there was never like any other team like at all. Like growing up, I remember like, I mean, I don't remember watching like 2001, 2002, but like I remember like knowing those rosters as long as like, I don't know, my dad is like showing me a basketball. I got this like 50 years of Lakers history book I like brought, and it's like got all this stuff. I like studied this thing inside and out.
That's sick.
It's nice. Yeah, it's got like every single year like summary, like the big like news clippings from that year, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's definitely like a location thing. It's like it's a privilege to be a Lakers fan. And then my all-time starting five, I definitely did it based on winning a game. I think I was like kind of cheating, but Magic, Steph, MJ, LeBron. So those four, I just think like, okay, with Magic, then MJ and LeBron are like, you're gonna have just like ridiculous like cutting and like wings, and the passing between just like LeBron, Magic, like probably the top two when people talk about greatest passers of all time. Steph, mostly just space the floor, because I think like that's just ridiculous, like what he can do. Shaq was by far like the most dominant player I've like watched, like just in any like 1-to-1. Whenever I like imagine like all-time teams, I always imagine like a slightly younger version of Shaq though, just because like to run the floor. For my go, I personally could totally go like either MJ or LeBron. I like, for the sake of mixing it up, I'll just say LeBron for like his longevity right now, because I think that's crazy. But like, if someone told me I was wrong, I wouldn't really argue.
You wouldn't argue? So
if someone
ambivalent. You're like not strongly for one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I kind of feel the same.
Yeah, not that like it's not comparable, or like there isn't like grounds for an argument for sure, but like I don't know, like, you know, like I can sit here and be like, I think MJ is a GOAT, and I could totally talk myself into that, and then I could be like, but here's why LeBron's a GOAT, and I could talk myself into that just because it's like, it's just ridiculous like what both of them have done.
I feel the same way. I feel like, honestly, like Kobe gets slept on in those talks. That's my opinion. But I think like he's in that trio. Everyone just says like LeBron or MJ, but dude, this man Kobe, bro, his numbers ain't pretty, but like if you watch the guy, dude.
I think Kobe on with a different, and I know you can't really say this because Jordan had Phil Jackson too, but you know, like Kobe with a different coach or whatever, it's just both Jordan and Kobe with different coaches, they'll put up LeBron-esque numbers, I'm sure.
Anyways, yeah, that's a solid list for sure. Pretty standard. Everyone's lists are pretty much the same. We have like a lot of overlap. I definitely am not putting Magic in my list. I don't know. I think I underrate Magic slightly, but that's just me. But let's get into it. So, like always, we're gonna start with our media share, and the first topic we're gonna start with is the best individual performances that we chose. So, I'm gonna go first, and mine is definitely gonna be. Wait, actually, let me get a different video real quick. I just realized I want a strictly Jamal Murray Game 7 highlights.
I think the thing with Magic, which is back with the all time or like all time starting five, is that I remember his rookie, right, when he went to the finals and he finished out at the center position. You can get like a Ben Simmons kind of like positional flexibility on defense.
Yeah, he's insane. Yeah, he can switch everything. Yeah. He's nasty. And he did. He went to the finals his rookie year, I think.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
they
he did.
lost to the Celtics that year. But I'm pretty sure.
but he played center in the finals when Kareem got hurt.
Yeah, was it that year? I don't remember which
I
year
think
it
so.
was.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. So, anyways, this game, bro, Jamal Murray was nasty. He was solid. He was nailing threes. I think he was like 50% from three or some ridiculous number like that.
I think he's been 50% from three the whole playoffs.
Playoffs, dude. He's been
Yeah.
lights out the
Yeah,
whole playoffs.
he was nasty this game, and like he's hitting tough ones. I remember here. I'll fast forward, but he hit a dagger three late. That was just disgusting, dude.
Oh yeah, fading to the right over
I think
Kawhi. It was
no, dude. It was later, dude.
with like 2
It
minutes
was like
left.
2
Dude,
minutes
this
left,
one,
yeah.
This
bro.
one, right? Yeah.
Oh my god, man. That was disgusting. That was like insult to injury. And he outplayed both PG and Kawhi when in the first 3 games, I thought he was just doo-doo and like he couldn't get anything done. And
And,
like they were locking him up.
Yeah.
And he just showed out. And then obviously juxtaposing
like
against
the-
PG. It was just crazy.
I'd also like to point out, one of your former guests believes that Jamal Murray is one of the most overrated players in the league,
Who's that, Josh Lee?
and then this happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I still like so I'm like still on the fence. Like I'm not a huge Murray guy, but he's playing and he keeps playing and he keeps
Yeah,
playing.
me neither.
Yeah. And
Yeah, he's definitely been hot and
I
cold
don't-
over his career.
something about his game, I
I
don't
mean, I never considered like.
But,
Honestly, though, I never thought he was like way overrated because most guys I talked to felt like he's just like good scorer but doesn't do much of like other things.
yeah, for
But
sure.
he's been playing super well, so it's a pleasant surprise.
But he doesn't need to do other things with Jokic, you know?
Yeah, he just needs to hit the open three and then obviously play make, but like he is their guy and he's stepping up. So like I can't knock him for that. And going to the conference finals right now against these teams, I don't know, it's impressive. So look at that, even that mid-range turnaround, that's a tough shot. And he's making those. It's like
Oh, yeah,
those are shots like I
That-
expect Kawhi to make, and he made none of those this game. And
Jamal
he's just-
has like a high post fade, like mid range. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
No,
That's
he's nice.
always been there.
He's definitely got a complete game. And honestly, like it seems trivial, but we talked about this last podcast. When he hit that 360, it made me way more of a fan. I love those 360s. Like when people bust out 360 layups.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
John Wall.
Yeah, dude. That's why Monte Ellis was one of my favorite players and why I became a Warriors fan. Because he hit that 360 on the baseline, and it's just so beautiful. But that's enough about Murray. Let's get to the next one. So the next one we have here is gonna be let me pull this up. This one's gonna be Luke's, and we're gonna pull it up, and we're gonna just play these game highlights because he has no highlights, bro. He has absolutely no highlights, and Luke chose a low lights video for us. And you can go ahead and comment on this one, bro.
Yeah, way off P.
Way
That's
off
who we're
P.
talking. That's who
Yeah.
we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
wait,
boy.
can-
Actually, dude,
it-
there's got to be a low lights video. We're finding
There's a low light. You got to play the
There
low
has
lights
to be.
video.
We at the very least we can find the clip where he hits the side of the backboard. That one is amusing.
That's great. And the thing is, like, I feel like everybody who knows a little bit about basketball, like everyone knows PG hit the side of the backboard there at the end.
All right, we got
Yeah,
to watch
that
this
shot.
one.
Boink.
Oh man.
Oh god, bro. Rest in peace, Justin Kang, who said PG's his favorite player. Oh god.
He's got all the talent too. It's just
Oh
I don't know.
my
It's
god, bro.
Just so I actually kind of have a story about Paul George.
Oh. Yeah, continue.
I remember I was like talking to some people like just as a general topic of discussion, like who do you think is the most overrated player at each position? And I said my opinion was Paul George for small forward, and the reasoning behind that was that like I was saying that Paul George is like, for a star player at least, he's super inconsistent, yet it feels like people never talk about it. And like this was like one of
Yeah.
those games that kind of showed it. it felt like during these playoffs, on
Oh.
average, he played poorly every other game or something.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, like, he's shown that, like, he's no doubt, like, he's talented. I feel like it's such a, I feel like it's such a confidence thing and such a coaching thing too. But I mean, like, mentality wise, like PG said, he was a Lakers fan growing up, right? And so you can assume like he's a little bit older than us, or than me and Luke at least, and I
He's
guess
like
you too.
30.
But yeah, so like he's probably a Kobe fan and stuff like that. But the mentality, like to say, hey, I'm gonna stay in OKC, like sign this long extension and then like force his way out in a trade like a year later, like I don't know, like to me that's like you know
What a cheeser.
as
To be
opposed to
honest.
like me saying my like I love Dame, you're saying like Jimmy Butler, like those guys' mentalities are like just completely different. And but George has all the talent in the world, and it's just like
Yeah, I guess. I don't knock him so much for that. I feel like that's just like false commitment, like a Kyrie. It's like this new age, like millennial thought process of like.
but Kyrie didn't sign like an extension
I
and
get
like
it.
get
I
up
get
there
it.
and be like, yeah.
But it's like. Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel that. I don't know. I'm trying to vouch for his actions, but it's a little scummy.
I mean on an action sense, like I think it's more to me that I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of correspond is like a reflection of his mentality when he struggles with his game here
It's
too.
kind of true. Like going gets tough, he leaves.
Yeah.
But like honestly, they ran it back, and so he played 2 years in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
And then so the second year they got freaking trounced and they got sent home like that. So I kind of get it because like you see the writing on the wall. You gave it another try and it clearly wasn't gonna work. So it kind of made sense, and you had this opportunity to make this thing happen with your like good friend. So I understand, but nonetheless, you just shouldn't say that kind of commitment shit and not back it up. Damn, dude, he's such a disappointment. I really like this guy. It was like always that argument. I think people said like Jimmy Butler or PG, and you see how different the intangibles are. How like
Oh yeah, the
yeah,
intangibles.
it's like so clear. All right, let's move on. I can't watch this garbage anymore. Yeah, this is
Other
doo-doo,
amusing
bro.
thing about Paul George is that he's like, "Oh, we're not in championship or bust mode," but that's such a lie.
Dude, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's just like that's like the most coward answer I ever heard.
Because the Clippers literally traded away their future to get him.
Yeah.
If that's
That's
not
the thing.
championship or bust, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So I'm gonna queue up this next one, and then I think this one is the last one for this category. Individual performance is gonna be for Nathan's pick, and so go ahead, explain your pick and why it happened, or why you
Matt.
decided to choose this one.
That game 7 was great and Jamal Murray was great, but Jokic was just doing whatever he wanted to do with the Clippers team. I remember he said, yeah, and he said that he basically implied like a couple games before that like Harrell was an easy matchup for him because he could just shoot over him,
Yeah.
right? And then I don't know, just Zubats just can't keep up with Jokic anyways. And I think like Jokic has a ton of, you know, there's shortcomings in his game, especially like when it comes to like defensively, and just like lazy fouls and stuff. But this guy is like so smart, and like the way that you can genuinely build an offense around him like really showed in this game. Because the shooting was just like it's just kind of stupid. He has like that weird, you know, like turn around one legged, but he goes off his strong leg, like his right leg. And like he doesn't even create a ton of space. He just like essentially is just rotating away a little bit with his left foot, and then takes like a step back with his right foot, and all that does is like square up his upper body. And then his mid range is wet, just
Yeah.
absolutely wet. Yeah, and
Our
he's just,
kind of
and-
shot
and-
is crazy, bro. Yeah.
yeah. And I love this one because a family friend of mine is a Clippers fan because like the college he
Because
went to,
God
like
knows
so,
why.
yeah, who knows? And
Just
and back when Denver was down like by 2-1 or whatever to Utah, and he was just trash talking Jokic. He was like, I'd rather have like Donovan Mitchell over Jokic, and not that Mitchell is bad or anything, right? But he's like, I'd rather have like Mitchell, I'd rather have like, and he was just like listing all these
he's
young
just like
players,
saying
like
he's
everybody
not like a
over
top
Jokic.
10 player. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes, and I'm like why? Like, have you watched Jokic? And he's like, yeah, it's because like Jokic like looks like that old white guy like at the gym, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like nothing's like flashy and stuff like that. But I'm like, and then he just comes over here and just like walks all over the Clippers, you know.
I feel like
And
people who don't really know basketball well tend to not appreciate the kinds of things Jokic does.
Dude,
Yeah.
center in
Like
the
realize
league.
how important he is. You're saying he's the
It's not
best
even-
center?
It's not a contest anymore.
No, I don't agree with that, bro. I think him and JoJo are tied.
I think
Yeah,
Jokic
I would take JoJo.
You think that Embiid should be the best, but he hasn't played like it lately.
What do you mean? He had nothing, dude. He was still averaging good numbers with a trash ass team, bro.
Jokic is too much of a defensive liability to say like without a doubt like best center in the league. Like I think like he'll always finish higher than Embiid in like MVP votes and stuff because and like the way he could pass is ridiculous. But like defensively, like he couldn't like he got like that's why the Jazz just almost beat the Nuggets or they should have beat him and Mitchell was just going all over because they couldn't stop the paint because Jokic just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, this game second half, dude. We haven't gotten to it yet in the video yet, but Jokic they had no answer for the pick and roll, and it was so absurd. They like kept doubling him so early, and like that is not the guy you want to double on. Like the greatest passing big that's ever
See,
been.
look at that three, dude.
Okay, that's lucky as hell. But
They were telling a story where Popovich was coaching Team USA against whatever Team Serbia or wherever that Jokic is from. Yeah, and they're saying like Popovich was saying like, oh, you can't double Jokic when he sees the double coming, right? He has to have his back
You
turned
got
to
to
the
have a
double.
weak side get him or something.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of that just speaks to like the ineptitude with the Clippers coaching to make adjustments.
Yeah, their defense was
yeah.
trash all of playoffs, I think. I don't know what it is.
They should have been one of the best defensive units.
Yeah,
in the
on
league.
paper, individually, they're so good. Like I don't know. Like something about the effort level, chemistry, something just seemed off. You know?
I feel like this might be a bad take, but I feel like they might not have the best guys to be leaders, if you will.
Kind
It's
of.
not a hot take anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, like Kyle Lowry was the leader. Probably Manu was the leader on the Spurs for Kawhi's
Yeah, but
team.
Kawhi's not like vocal enough to like.
Yeah,
be
that's
a
what I
legit
mean.
Leader.
And neither is Paul George, and they're both kind of like.
And in this game, they did. And I think especially in the third quarter, they ran like the same two offensive sets with Jokic, right? Like if the Clippers scored, then Jokic would bring the ball up like a point guard, and he does the offensive initiating, like the handoff, right, to Murray or Gary Harris or whoever.
Or gets it back in
and then
post.
yeah, and that's
But
what
I
they
feel
would
like
do.
they- I mean,
the
they're
Clippers
just
didn't score, and he would just go
right
straight into the
there.
high post.
Yeah,
Oh
high
man,
post.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Top of the key, that guy's deadly with the pass. But yeah, I mean, this guy was just nasty. He was clearly the best player in the series. Honestly, Zubac didn't do a bad job either.
He
Yeah.
did. Well, defensively, he was better than Harrell anyway.
This guy's a beast.
Man,
This guy's so good. He's so fun to watch. I really hope that they can at least take it to 6. I think he's gonna go off.
They definitely need him to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, definitely. That's like probably the biggest problem for him, like staying on the court because of the fouls, especially with the big matchup that he has to go against.
The other
Yeah.
thing with Jokic was that like I felt like because of like the way he played, and before I always kind of like I used to always write Denver off as like, oh, they're just a regular season team. We can't last that well in the playoffs. But I'm glad to see that I'm wrong there.
But you see that clip? That's why Jokic, you can't definitively say he's the best center. Like he didn't get back there on defense.
Where, which one? Right here?
Just like I don't. I think that's like it's like a European thing because I remember like an analyst saying like Doncic does a lot of that stuff too. You know, like I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know. Is that what you're supposed to do?
I don't know.
No,
He's just gambling.
not
He's
entirely
tired. Yeah, I feel like that's like some that's like some stereotype of European basketball. Oh my god, that was disgusting.
I will say like
Also,
to what you're saying about Denver being a regular season team, it's because it was only in the bubble that Michael Porter Jr. stepped up. Gary Harris came back from injury. and then Jamal Murray obviously just like became a god.
Yeah.
And like so those things weren't there. So no one it wouldn't have been they were good, but you couldn't have predicted like that those three guys are gonna step up.
I feel like
Denver's
you're
icy
yeah,
hot like as a
Especially
team.
because
Too.
Harris had a rather disappointing regular season in general.
yeah. I feel like you're always gonna be considered a regular season team unless you get it to at least a conference finals. Like you gotta win 2 series.
But you know, Portland made it to the conference finals last year. Would you call them? I don't know what you would call them.
Milwaukee too, like
Kinda, you could kind of argue because, like before that point, like I don't know, I don't think you can argue that when you have clutch performances from your star. Like Dame has made the playoffs almost every year of his career, maybe every year, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Not his rookie season. I think.
Okay, so everyone except that year, and he's been playing well in all of them. So and they've won series. So I don't.
His
That's
first
a little
playoffs,
different.
he hit that game-winning 3 against over
Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, that was
Chandler
beautiful.
Parsons
Yeah.
against Houston. That was nuts.
Yeah.
But-
And the game winner over OKC, like no one's sleeping on it. At the same time, it gets buried by like Kawhi's Game 7
Oh yeah,
against the
one that
Sixers,
bounced
which is
5-1.
crazy. But the Dame thing is just that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
I remember
Was that-
watching it live, and I was like, "This is going in. I feel it."
All right, for sure. So let's move to our next segment. This one's gonna be best game. So we'll go with my pick first, and similarly, I'm gonna pick this Nugs Clippers game. So I honestly can skip over this a little bit because we've talked about it at length, but it was just so impressive to me how the Nugs two best players just completely outplayed the Clippers' 2 best players, and it wasn't even close. It was like a good game to me because they choked so hard and we're not used to Kawhi choking so hard. And like the 40 bomb, that was crazy. So, I mean, we went over it a lot, so we don't have to talk too much more about that one. So let's move on to actually Luke's pick, which he chose game 6. I don't think I actually watched this live, so I can't talk too much on this one.
I mean, the theme of Game 6 was kind of similar to Game 5 in the aspect that the Nuggets were down by like, quite a bit at one point, and then they made a nutty comeback, which is why this one. I mean, I think I could have gone with Game 5 too, maybe. Because
Damn, they were down so much.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
The same was true for Game 5, but and like they were down 3-1 in Game 5, but like they like brought it back and everything. I think what these games like kind of showed me was how much heart the team had, and that's like what
mental
really
fortitude
surprised me.
for sure.
Like I mean, I think like I said before, I used to just write off Denver as purely a regular season team, but I think the series against the Clippers was proof that how tough like Murray and Jokic really were.
Yeah.
And I didn't know
Undefeated
that
game
before.
7s.
And I mean, well, they lost Game 7 last year against Portland, but
Did
that's
they?
beside the point. Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay. They beat the Spurs in game 7 a year,
Yeah,
right?
they did.
Yeah, okay, I forgot about the
They had
Portland one.
4 straight playoff series with a Game 7.
That's wild, dude.
But like, dang, I had no idea that like Jamal Murray and Jokic were actually that much of a killer. Like both of them.
But I mean, they're stepping it up. No one knew.
Yeah, this is
I mean,
when
you
prove it.
knew Jokic. Yeah. This is when you prove it.
But they just had like a lot more heart than both Paul George and Kawhi, I feel like.
And the other thing is, I remember there was like a video clip going around the Lakers like subreddit, but it was in like the 2010 playoffs because you know the Lakers were down Game 7 against the Celtics, and that was Doc Rivers' coach team, and Phil Jackson was telling the team that like, he doesn't know how to hold a lead. And man, it just like the Celtics don't know how to hold a lead because Doc Rivers can't make adjustments, and 3 games in a row we saw that like so blatantly. I don't understand. Like if you're the Clippers, it's not just that you blew a lead, and then you end the game getting blown out. I think that was what happened Game 6, right? They were like up by like
what, 13?
Yeah, like you would expect if they got outscored by like 30 in the second half.
Yeah, they got destroyed.
Something like that.
And it's not that they didn't have the confidence because they were up big at halftime.
But they got complacent. or something.
I mean,
I'm
lots
not
of
really
things. Lots of things went wrong. I'm not sure how to pinpoint it, other than they didn't really care that much. Honestly,
Hey, what-
Lou Will, and Trez have been
Okay,
pretty shit though.
Chat asked. Oh yeah, no, they were both cheeks. Chat asking, why are the Clippers keeping Doc?
I don't necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say it's his fault. That's not where I would go. And they're paying him so much money that looks like kind of foolish.
I couldn't say it's completely his fault, but I feel like
Contributing
Supposedly-
factors.
Supposedly, he was one of the main reasons why Kawhi wanted to go to the Clippers to begin with. At least
Yeah.
that's what
but you look at the rosters that like Doc Rivers has gotten to play with since like dating back to like the Celtics, and like he got that one title, but then other than that, like he doesn't really have a lot to show for it. And I feel like when you like a team like this, they played so much ISO ball, and they didn't make defensive adjustments. I don't know. I just to me like that's
But that's the players they
coaching.
have though. They have 3 guys that are ISO players. Like on the Celtics, they didn't play that much ISO ball. They had Paul Pierce ISO sometimes, but they didn't have like.
And then the other thing is that Celtics team was supposed to be known for defense, right? But in an interview, like Rivers said that like Tom Thibodeau was doing all the defensive adjustments.
Which makes sense. He relies on
That
his
makes
coordinator.
sense.
Like I'm cool with that.
No, yeah.
I'm cool.
So
Those guys have a lot of involvement. I feel like head coach, most of it is like a moral support kind of thing and like a locker room kind of thing issues more than anything. Like having to trust your players, you guys on the same page. But like I definitely do recognize that some coaches have like zero schemes.
I mean, if I were the Clippers, I wouldn't blow it up with Doc Rivers. It's not like they had a bad season.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
it's risky. It's rare to find yourself in like a Dwayne Casey to Nick Nurse kind of scenario. And Dwayne Casey's obviously a lot less proven than Doc Rivers is, or Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, whatever.
Mhm.
So that's rare.
For sure.
Maybe the Rockets will get lucky.
All right. So let's move on to Nathan's pick best
Spirit.
game. of the-
This is by far the best game from the past couple of games.
I mean,
I think this
this game was insane. One
Yeah,
OT.
this game wasn't.
Crazy.
Yeah,
ending,
I mean,
crazy everything, dude.
Miami caught up. The end of the fourth quarter,
Celtics
and
were up by a lot too, right?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
they
they
had
were
like
up
a
like
15,
a amount.
15, 18 point lead, something like that.
And these teams, they match up pretty well too. A lot of talented wings and pretty young players. I am really enjoying watching Tyler Hero play. I think both him and Bam. But Tyler's gonna,
Yeah.
So nuts.
I don't know if I talked about this before on the pod, but I'm gonna give my Tyler Hero speech now that you brought him up. Tyler Hero, every year, so like
You
in
probably
fantasy,
told me this one.
yeah, in fantasy, I always gamble on one rookie, right? Because one rookie that I think is gonna pop off, you can usually get him like 12th pick or something. And so I think 11th or 12th pick, I picked Tyler Hero. This guy has the biggest nuts ever. Since the beginning of the season, he's been hitting go-ahead buckets, game winners, all this. So when he does this, obviously it's crazy and it's like sort of surprises me. But this is just like what he does.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
they put him in like Spoelstra could totally play him way more minutes,
Dude,
and
look
like
at
they
that
don't,
play.
and they put him in like at the end. Yeah,
it's not
because
like that he
they
just
trust him
scores
so
too.
much.
He like makes the right play too. And like it's just a confidence thing. He has a supreme confidence. And like even I forget which game it was. I think it was a previous series, like game 6 or 7 or something. He hit like 3 insane threes to tie it up. I think they went to OT a different game too. I forget what game.
Bucks.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
went
Against
to
the
OT.
Bucks.
The dude had like the craziest threes I've seen. And they were like
And
big ball threes.
I do believe in the eye test,
Oh,
and like
dude.
Hero and Bam like passed that for sure for me. Like,
Jeez.
I mean, I will say though, Bam gets obviously in this game he came up big, but I can't remember if in game 1 he was doing this too, but in game 2 that guy was
Pick and roll, bro.
he played great, but he's young. Clearly, he turns the ball over. He gets pickpocketed from behind when he gets the ball in the mid post. So like when they work on those things and he gets it out, I think he's got like I don't even know what to compare it to, but like maybe like DeMarcus Cousins' style of being able to control the flow of an offense. Obviously, they're like very different.
Nah, I don't say
They're
that.
very different players, but like Cousins on the Kings was able to Like you could play the offense through him, but not in like a Jokic way.
I feel like Bam's got Stoudemire vibes, but he's got like better defense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bam's probably a better passer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And then
He
Cousins is
needs
a
to
better
like
scorer.
develop a decent mid range at least.
I think Bam will develop a 3 in the next couple of years for sure.
That'd be sick.
We'll see about that. That the dude's insane. Yeah, go
I
ahead,
was
Luke.
super high on him going into the season. Like,
For sure.
I remember I like created a list of like 10 players who I think will break out. He was like number 1 on mine. I was like for most likely to break out.
Yeah.
And then in this
He
game, but
definitely goes up.
in this series, Goran Dragic, ridiculous. Marcus Smart has been like, I don't know, stupid hot from 3 too.
Marcus Smart, yeah, it's definitely playing like
Dragic
an
has been
all-star.
playing very well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that because I've watched a lot of Dragic and I've had him on.
Yeah.
I've just watched him closely in fantasy a lot of times, and like, dude's like, I love his game. He's just like the lefty technique. He's just so good, bro. He's just a point guard Manu.
I think Duncan's starting to step it up too, right? Robinson.
Yeah, he had one good game, maybe 2 good games. He was playing like shit all the playoffs, so he's the one guy I also was like a big fan of. Obviously, this whole Heat team, a lot of us love them because they're like underdogs, like breaking out. But he was playing so bad because he has like that. He's an emotional shooter, so like he'll get down on himself when he misses, and he'll be emotional about it. Like he's not like Klay Thompson. He's like the opposite.
Do you know you watched Kuroko, right?
Kuroko no basket, yeah.
Yeah, he's Mito Rima.
Almost, bro. He just smacks it in, bro.
Yeah, he's quite literally real life Mito Rima.
Dude, he's nasty. But this Heat team is so fun. I really like the Celtics team too. But man,
Kemba needs to step it up a little bit. He had a good game today, but
yeah.
this was the one. This was the one he had. He had like 5 points in like 50 minutes or something like
Yeah,
that.
and he's shooting a lot of ISO shots, and they're just not good looks.
I mean,
But,
before
yeah.
the season started, I said that the Heat would be a sleeper team. I know a lot of people don't remember that. But
No, I remember you saying that. We had these conversations, and you were saying that early on too. And honestly, you were spot on because you knew about the Bam factor, bro. The Bam factor.
Oh, they definitely couldn't have done it without Bam. And this whole game, Butler's. I mean, everyone's gonna remember the play at the end, right? And I'll let that be for the next segment. But Jimmy Butler scoring in at the end of overtime
Dude, this guy
against Tatum. I totally thought that was gonna, like, from the camera angle, you think it's gonna get blocked.
Yeah,
And then the and one, oh my gosh, ridiculous.
I love this guy. Yeah.
oh,
Dude,
is this what we think it is? No, it's not.
no. So last thing about Hero, I'll say this. This might be my hot take, my bold take. I would rather have Tyler Hero shoot a game-winning shot than like 99% of the league. Like, there's maybe like 7 guys. I'd rather have him shoot it. This guy, like, he's got no fear, and he hits these big shots. And like, I honestly, I would like give that kid the ball and go to work.
Oh, I was watching his high school mixtape like a couple of weeks ago with Stevens, and Hero's like he was cocky in those videos, but that's where the confidence.
No,
comes in,
for
you know?
sure. I
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
watching his hoop
Confidence is
mixtape.
incredible. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, that's what makes him good. That definitely is what makes him so good. And so this week, we had a unanimous best play, and from the same exact game, like we all know, and like we all seen the Magic Johnson tweet, best block in playoff history. I don't know about that, but we can comment on that a little bit. But let's take a look at this freaking block, dude. This block was the most disgusting thing, and I love Jason Tatum that he went up for the yam. And dude,
for offense,
like,
joined by
It was so clean, and he came out of nowhere.
this move, dude, he shook Jimmy. He shook his ass.
I thought the game was over for sure.
Or tied
The
up,
ball was
yeah.
like, yeah, or like the ball is going like down into the hoop.
Okay, so they get a switch here, which is not a good switch. Simple cross, went for the Yamba, and that was just insane, dude. Dude, that one's nasty. That was like
The defensive
when Braun
recovery.
blocked Thiago Splitter. Like, that's
Yeah.
like when someone full cocks back and you block it, dude, you're just the strongest dude in the gym.
And it's a crazy thing because like it looks even better in slow motion.
Damn, dude.
You know
What a
what?
god.
You know what other blocks this kind of reminds me of? I'm not sure if people remember, but like when Roy Hibbert got the block on Melo in like
Oh yeah,
2013,
I remember.
kind of remind me of that, like the way it happened.
But also, like Melo looked like he couldn't jump off the ground there. Yeah,
Probably true.
No, but for sure, I remember that. That was a great block too. But dude, do I think this is best block playoff history?
I don't. I have no say there. I'd have to take a look at like every block contest.
No,
Before
people say
Le-
that Iggy
LeBron-
won Game 7 on Iggy.
Yeah, LeBron Iggy Game 7. Like I
that's
still gotta
gotta be
go with
that's
that.
gotta be the best one.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, probably.
That was go ahead bucket at the moment. It's Game 7.
That was
coming down
that was a
3-1.
gigantic momentum block. Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
and, like no one's gonna forget it.
Yeah, we needed that bucket, and then Kyrie comes down, hits it. We all know what happens. Oh man, that hurts. But dude, this
getting
block,
PTSD right now.
I literally am. I'm literally like thinking about where I was. I was in the basement of Pappy's, and I was the moment Kyrie got the switch, I knew it was over, and I was like, why? We kept switching Curry, like we didn't fight through the screen, and we just switched. I understand like you got to switch possessions sometimes, but they're putting him on an island 8 plays in a row. And it was just over. I knew it, and I left the bar, and it was just devastated. I was devastated, dude. Anyways, let's not think about that no more, and let's just.
Hey, do you have the?
Oh my god! Oh my god, dude! His wrists, bro. What a strong man, dude. This guy's a beast. This guy's a freaking beast. Oh, I don't have the video up, but anyways, that guy's a beast. We know what's happening. But
Do you have the clip of the Jokic pass?
which
That-
yeah.
The one
So-
where Patrick Beverly.
yeah. Let's look at these real quick.
Oh
So-
goodness, Patrick Beverly.
Let's do this one first. So Nathan also provides us.
They will all
more
celebrate tonight.
Oh, that one.
Oh my! I know, like it didn't. It's never gonna be remembered because it's like garbage
Oh.
time and the foul. But you watch the slow motion replay too, like
The
the way Jokic,
too.
and like it wasn't just like a over the head. Like Jokic like
It was over two
spun
guys.
that
He knew.
downwards, like
Look at
right
he
here. Like
barely
look at
saw
it.
him. He barely saw him cut.
Perfect in the pocket on Beverly. Like he didn't
Just
just
barely
man, that's
saw him.
ridiculous.
That's insane, man. That's an
He
insane.
threw it
pass.
down like into his lap. I don't know. That was just ridiculous.
Freaking dirty
That's
ass play.
ridiculous. But the thing is, he's doing that all the time. That's how good that guy is.
Yeah. I always like I know like when people are hating on Jokic, you can easily just pull up like a top 10 like passing videos and he's got
Yeah, he's
like,
insane.
hours of him like throwing dimes to Gary Harris especially.
Yeah. I always thought like Marcus Gasol was a great passer. This guy like makes him look like he sucks ass at passing.
I heard a
To be
story
fair,
where it was like
Gasol is still
Yo-
pretty good for a big.
No. That's what I mean. That's how good Jokic is, though. He makes that guy look like he sucks ass and can't see the floor. That's what he makes him look
And I
like.
still, to this day, I still can't believe Jokic was a second-round pick. That is nutty to me.
I could believe it. Just some big old Euro. It's like a Zubac. How are you supposed to know this big old Euro is going to be a god?
I heard a
Wasn't
story
that
where
old though, was he?
Jokic, they say Jokic's water polo skills like made him like such a good like handler with like one hand with the
that
ball.
Makes sense, dude. That makes a lot of sense. He definitely passes like a water polo guy.
This is just fun, you know. It like
Yeah.
Caruso's a meme, but like he actually did that, and like
No, he's a great defender. Honestly,
Yeah,
he's
like,
one of the best role
but,
players
like,
you can have.
But yeah, I never expect when you watch Caruso, you can tell he's got the basketball IQ, but then like sometimes he does these plays and you're like, man, like that really happened.
No, he's freaking legit. He's definitely legit. Honestly, he's not a liability on the offensive end either. So yeah, we get the memes. We love the memes, but he's like not a scrub. Definitely not a scrub.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Like, Caruso's legit.
Yeah, Caruso is definitely legit. Whew. Damn, there's some damn good plays, and there's way less games, but dude, this playoff basketball is crazy. And so our last media share segment that we're gonna get into is favorite media opinion. So mine's gonna be a very recent one, and so I think either this morning or yesterday, I forget, but MVP voting was leaked, and apparently LeBron only got like 16 votes out of like 100 something media votes. And this is my clip, and this is Stephen A. summing it up. And then a little bit of Kendrick Perkins talking too. So we can just
Oh boy.
watch parts of this. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but let's go ahead and
we do have some
play
breaking
this
news.
one.
Also comes in the form of a Woj bomb. Adrian Wojnarowski.
And you guys can't hear it
reporting
right
the
now,
breaking-
right? So let me make sure you guys can hear
The
this too.
desktop audio muted.
No, it's not that. I have to screen share you something else. Screen share you this one. And then you guys should be able to hear.
News that Giannis has been named MVP of the 2019 season, this being his second consecutive award. So, Stephen A., I'll start with you. Your reaction.
Well, I'm happy for him. He played hard. He was the reigning league MVP, and he came out and tried to prove that he was worthy of it, that he deserved it. He averaged like 29 and 13 during the regular season. Milwaukee was the #1 seed. They were thriving before the last weekend prior to the play being stalled because of the pandemic. So I understand from a numbers perspective why he would get this award. It was very predictable that it would happen, but he did not get my vote, and I have a vote. I voted for LeBron James. I thought that LeBron James deserved to be league MVP this year. I thought the way he led the Lakers, being the #1 seed in the Western Conference, which is superior to the East. I think the way that he has led this team, the way that he has had them buy in from day one of this NBA season. I can't say enough about the leadership that he has exhibited and exuded throughout this year. No matter what personnel, no matter what personalities, or whatever the case may be, him playing alongside Anthony Davis, but still doing the things that he did, leading the league in assists, playing the minutes that he played at age 35, his 17th season in the league. Like I've said on many, many occasions, I could be critical of shot selection from time to time. I could be critical of his three-point shooting. I could be critical of sometimes his hesitancy to get to a free throw line, et cetera, et cetera. But what you can never be critical of is that this man is a superstar personified, and he has never cheated us. Every time he steps into an arena, he's always ready to play. Sometimes he plays better than others, obviously, but he's always in shape. He's always in condition. He's always conditioned, rather. He's always focused. He doesn't cheat us. And I think that when you see the Western Conference that he plays in and the challenges that he had available to him, and knowing that he was gearing for the postseason as well, but still did what he did during the regular season, I don't think there's any question in my mind that LeBron James deserved the MVP. I understand why Giannis got it because everybody's looking at numbers and the fact that Milwaukee was the #1 overall seed, but I never thought that he deserved it over LeBron James this year. To me, LeBron James is my MVP, but I'm happy Giannis is a good guy, and I wish him nothing but the best.
All right. So I'm gonna pause it right there real quick. So I don't agree with Stephen A. all the time, but I don't think I'm biased by I don't think I have recency bias because of Giannis's playoff performance. I've been saying this from the regular season the whole time. That Braun is just, people just sleep on how good he is. Like last year, he went down, and they instantly, the Lakers drop out of the playoff race. Like he's that good, he's that important. Obviously, they have AD this year too, but LeBron is so godly, and people forget that. And he's leading the league in assists this year. It's insane. He's just so good. So I don't know. People are crazy, and Chopper's going wild also, so he's upset at that too. And like, I get the Giannis's numbers, and like we don't have to listen to Kendrick Perkins talk, but like one of the things that he said that I also agree with, which is pretty rare, is that he was saying that it's kind of arbitrary which values and which for a year like people are voting for MVP. Sometimes it's numbers based, sometimes it's like who won more games and stuff like that. But like, dude, to me, LeBron should have got it for sure. I don't know how you guys felt.
I mean, I guess the way to put it for me is that I felt like you couldn't really go wrong with either choice. I wanted LeBron to win as a Lakers fan, but then I was like, knowing the rationale behind the way they vote, they'll probably pick Giannis, and hence that was why I chose Giannis in my predictions video. And then like in my predictions video, I also did mention like the other main candidate would be LeBron, but like given the situation and everything, I feel like it'll probably be Giannis. But I felt like, I mean, one thing that I would say is that I thought that the race would have been closer at least.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't think it'd be that lopsided.
Yeah, I agree. That's what LeBron was saying. He was mad about how lopsided it was this morning. But I mean, yeah, I was expecting Giannis to win because of the whole efficiency thing. He was playing like just barely over 30 minutes per game or something like that. Maybe Luke, you know. And
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
They won so many games, so I'm not saying that
Yeah.
Giannis doesn't deserve it. And he played like a monster, but like things Bron's doing, I think like Bron should be a 4-time MVP at least, and he should have won the
He is
year.
a 4-time MVP.
He's
No,
I think he's 2-time only.
4. 2009, 2010, 2012, 2013.
Are you sure?
I'm like pretty sure about that.
I thought he only had 2 right now.
No, I think he has 4.
You won MVP in 2004?
No, 2009.
I'm
10,
fact checking you, Luke.
12 and 13. I'm
I
like
I thought off the top of my head he had 2.
90% sure.
Okay, he did win 4. You are correct. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
But I
he's-
will say, like,
he's
I
tied
don't
with Jordan
like
for 4.
like him putting up like over 10 assists per game and leading the league in assists. Like, totally got slept on this year.
Yeah,
And obviously, a
That's
big part of it is
crazy,
like
bro.
that he has Davis on his team, so they're gonna, diminish the what he was doing from that standpoint.
I think that really shows like he can get whatever stat he wants, and he could play however he wants based on the need of the team. And like he doesn't play for stats, but he can do it, and it's crazy. Like, he can just change his game like that. And like, just to finish what I was talking, I thought he only had 2 MVPs, but that's besides the point. I think this year he should have won another one, and he should have won the year D Rose won. And D Rose is one of my favorite players ever. But I for sure think LeBron should have won that year too. So, I mean, that's the end of this clip. I just agreed with Stephen A. and surprisingly Kendrick Perkin. I thought like they said it well, and they put into words what I was thinking pretty much. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking.
Well, it's fine. Giannis can have all the regular season awards he wants, but he's not winning the title.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go to Luke's media opinion this week, and so Luke chose a tweet. So let's read the tweet. So go ahead, explain it, context, whatever
Okay,
we need to
so-
know.
To like give a little bit of backstory of we did mention it earlier as we were talking, but Paul George said that when Dame hit that game winner in 2019 over Paul George in that game 5, Paul George's response that a lot of people should recall is that, oh yeah, that was a bad shot. So this person probably asked Dame, okay, is this a good shot? If that's a bad shot, in reference to what Paul George said about Dame's game winner. And then Dame, in response, he was like, yeah, it looks pretty good to me in spite of the way it ended. That's like an ironic thing.
Eric Horney, Oklahoma.
Let me play.
Russell,
Let me
how
play this real
disappointing
quick.
is it for you all to take the 12-point lead you had in the fourth quarter?
Inside, please. Creeping up to him.
Close the gap. I don't know if you saw the clock. Take that shot.
I mean, the second I started creeping up to him,
Where is it? There's gotta be a time
game
stamp.
running, winding down. It's a tough shot. It's a tough shot. Live with it.
Next question. Up here on the front center, please.
Yeah, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. Russell, you guys played so well in the fourth quarter to take.
It's for your shoulder.
I just need to see this. I need to see him.
For
I
a
need to hear him
team
say
with-
it.
We simple as that.
This early in the postseason.
Very.
On the right side and back.
5
Damn.
plus
I need
feet.
to find. I need to find this. I can't
Reflect
move
it.
on.
You
Always look at myself to be able to win games.
Is there anything a defender can do with the way the game's gone in terms of those 36, 37-foot three-pointers? When you defended it about as well as you can, at some point you got to let a guy shoot that, don't you, and just live with the results?
Yeah. I mean, that's a bad shot. Don't care what anybody says. That's a bad shot. But
Dude, when he said this, I agree with him. But that makes this tweet so much more funny. Yo, is this a good shot? Oh man, this
Looks
guy's
good to
getting
me.
roasted. This guy's getting roasted so hard. That's freaking hilarious, dude. Okay,
Look good to me.
let's move on. I'm so glad you shared this one. All right, so this is Nathan's. Go ahead and explain it. Do your thing.
Just the other two. So when the Bucks sat out that when they were boycotting and the NBA teams were all meeting, apparently only the Lakers and the Clippers both voted that they were okay with just not playing at all because they wanted to like just make sure that it wasn't just like an arbitrary statement. and apparently all the other teams. This was like pretty early on in the playoffs, right? So all the other teams were like, no, we sacrifice a lot, we want to come finish it. So I guess as CJ is saying, they did vote that they ain't want to play no more.
Yeah,
But I didn't think they was gonna go out like that.
That's so funny. Yeah, they didn't want. It looked like they didn't want to play. Oh god, I love when they roast each other. That's so great. Dude, that's so great. Oh my gosh, that's a gold tweet.
It's particularly funny with the Clippers, considering how hyped up they were all year.
Yeah, they were 1 seed.
And they got hella cocky.
projected champs. Yeah, Pat Bev. My favorite thing is when Pat Bev's like, Steph, you could have those 5 years. The next 5 years are mine.
Oh yeah, when he was telling the Chase Center janitors like y'all cheated getting KD.
Yeah, dude. Oh.
Like man, like first of all, ain't cheating. But second of all, why are you gonna trash talk janitors at a new center that hasn't even, been the Warriors' home for the last couple of years?
It's wild. It's wild. So I think we'll finish up with just predictions. So the remaining series we have. So obviously, there's just 2 left. So Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The Nuggets are down 1-0, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So what do you guys, and we'll start with you, Nathan, what are your predictions for the series, and how many games you think it's going?
Man, how many games I think it's going is tough, because I do think that's dependent on the Nuggets, right? But I will say, like, this whole year, I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm also a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And so, like, with the Eagles, we keep it real. The Eagles, like, sucked week 1. And like, there's no, like, sugarcoating anything. I think, like, yeah, the Lakers had, like, a title shot, but I'm like, I could see, like, the Bucks winning. I thought I could see the Raptors winning. I thought I could see the Lakers struggling against the Rockets, potentially, especially after the first game they had with Covington. Obviously the Clippers look real talented on paper and at times throughout the season, but like, even seeing like this Lakers team, like seeing JaVale's vlogs and seeing like the chemistry of the Lakers team, I haven't seen that kind of like chemistry since the 2009 Lakers, where they were like breaking every huddle, like ring on 3. There's like a story about that, like Kobe and Fisher like leading the way, and they're turning it on. Like playoff Rondo is real. Like KCP's getting ridiculously hot, and he's averaging a stat. Yeah, he's shooting like 47% from 3 since the bad game against Portland. The Lakers are like 50-0 this year with like a lead after third quarter. They're looking good, basically. Like Markieff Morris is playing amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think the Lakers will win the series. I don't see it going to 7 games for sure. I could see it being like a sweep, and like I could also see it being like 6 games, like 5 or 6 games. But I don't think it's gonna be like
choose one.
Too far in doubt. All right, I will. I don't want to be too much of a homer, but I will say I think a sweep is more likely than a 6-game series.
Okay.
And I don't want to say 5-game, because that means the Lakers will go up 3-1 at some point, and that's scary.
Yeah, that's the Nugs sweet spot. All you, Luke, and I'll finish up.
Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6. All right, sweet. I think Lakers in 5. I think, like, dude, their Lakers are rolling. They look real nice. I don't even think like LeBron and AD are in their final form, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like
they both played like 30 minutes game 1.
Yeah, dude, they're not even in their final form, and they're playing like this, and they're just the bench obviously is playing above average, I'd say, but
playoff Rondo.
Yeah, dude.
JaVale is the Lakers starting center and their garbage time center.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, don't sleep on Dwight too. Dwight's a factor. He's like not a non-factor. So they're just good. And the only person I'm not a huge fan of and how he's playing is probably Danny Green. Like he's just like so not like he's just so clearly past his prime. It's like
he can't shoot a layup, man.
He can't even play D that good anymore. I swear. Like he's like I don't know. But anyways,
he runs weird. He runs weird too.
I mean, he does. He does this. I like that. I think it's funny. But Lakers in 6, and then I'll start us off with the Celtics Heat series. So these are probably my two favorite teams that were entering the playoffs. I love both their versatility and the switch everything basketball. Obviously, like, I'm a Warriors fan. I watch this team, and switch everything is just huge on the defensive end. And like my heart, I love the Heat team. They're so fun to watch and like so fun to root for. So I like that. But on paper, like I've been saying this a while, I really like the Celtics, and I liked them last year too. I liked them this year, and I keep eating my words. But I think the Celtics are gonna win, and I'm thinking it's going 7, baby. And I think the Celtics are gonna take it, and that's my spiel. Go ahead.
I think if it's I know I gotta commit to one. If it's 6 games, I see it Miami. If it's 7 games, I think Boston will win in Game 7.
Okay.
I gotta choose one.
So
I gotta choose one.
So if the Heat go up 3-1, if they win the next game, it's probably gonna end in 6.
No, I could still see the Heat taking Game 5 and 6, or Game 5 and 6, even if they tied 2-2.
Yeah, even then, okay.
But if it goes 7, I think Boston will win in Game 7.
Okay. Yeah. Luke, all you, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on your Celtics prediction.
Okay,
Plain and
Celtics in
simple.
7.
Yeah.
I like that. I respect that, even though you've been a homer for the Heat this whole year. That's a respectable pick, and you definitely know what's up.
My
going
mind
on with the
says
Heat.
Boston, but my heart says Miami.
That's exactly how I feel, bro. We're saying the same.
I think Miami's.
My body says Boston too.
I think Miami's coaching is better though too, but Boston's got so much more talent.
I don't know. I think
if
that's
they can put it together.
The way they shut them down Game 2 with the zone was insane. They could not get anything going. The Celtics could not get anything going in the second half, and that was like all coaching, I swear. And they just iso-balled and shit themselves.
Spoelstra's such a good coach.
I mean, I need to go back and watch. After this, I'll probably go and watch like the full Game 3 highlights and see what happened that Boston was able to get back into the series.
But for sure, it's definitely gonna be a great series. It's super fun. Both teams are super fun to watch. And before we end today, I gotta put Luke on blast a little bit, because Luke's been saying the Bucks, and he's been saying the Bucks constantly the whole year. So you were super.
He's been saying the Bucks for like the last 3 years too.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. So as much as Luke was right about the Heat, he was wrong about the Bucks, baby, and wrong about Chris Middleton, baby.
Yeah, I was wrong about that.
Honestly, Chris Middleton played pretty well too. Like he's definitely like, I roast him a lot, but he's definitely a beast, and he can definitely like make a bucket more than I said. Okay, Bledsoe's trash, but like Middleton definitely played above what I thought. But pretty much me and Luke have always been arguing about how good Middleton is, and I think like we met in the middle a little bit. But I think clearly the Bucks needed a piece, and that's like a huge piece, and Middleton can't fill that. But I just wanted to mention that because Luke, we did recognize his right prediction, but bro, you so wrong about the Bucks, baby.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
It's okay. We all have misses. I was super wrong last year about the Celtics. I thought they were gonna win the whole thing. Or I'd be close to winning the whole thing. I thought they were gonna go to the finals.
You were talking about how chemistry wasn't that important. I remember that.
Okay, yeah, I ate my words. I wanted to believe in Kyrie because I love Kyrie. And I wanted to believe that his toxicity wouldn't let them lose, but his toxicity screwed them so hard. So I definitely was super wrong about that. But this has been episode 3, and we'll love to have Luke and Nathan come back. And if you didn't know already, Luke does post YouTube videos. It's Luke Talks Basketball on YouTube, and they're definitely great. And he does a lot of research, and he definitely knows what's up. So go check that out.
I also started a blog for times where I don't have enough time to make.
Oh yeah,
a video.
for sure.
So I do blog as a backup.
So he's cranking out the content. He's definitely down to talk hoops, so we'll have them both back. It's been a great episode. We'll try and get not Lakers fans next time, but who knows? We're in California; they're everywhere, and they're just
especially this year.
They're just a plague. They're just a plague. And it's been great, but thank you for watching, and we're done. We outie. Peace.